So basically, that's how it's going to be different. So when you don't have stability, there should be compensating factors, or those factors that are very, very exciting and appealing to the investors. So it will make up stability. So maybe let's say when it comes to investing, then a higher interest rate, higher growth, and normally countries like Afghanistan who are moving forward and growing, basically there's a good opportunity for the investors to make a lot of money on their investments. So when the stability is low, then other factors like the return on investments, like the rate that they will benefit like on their investment should be higher. So that makes them convinced that there's a good investment. And then also companies and different like their branches and all their sectors should use as much security and methods possible to keep the risk as low as possible. So let's say if there's a stress, if there's a problem, they need to be prepared. They need to have the tools in order to reduce that risk as much as they can. So that will kind of encourage the investors to step in and invest.
Yes, can I answer also, sir?
Sure.
To his question. Yes, and since he asked me, so just I would like to give him. Firstly, I would say that's a good question, since everybody in Afghanistan right now have the same idea about Afghanistan, and particularly those who wants to invest, or the investors. So they have these kind of thoughts with themselves, and they are right, as long as we can say. So as an Afghanistan investment support agency, what do we provide to the investments, keeping in mind that after the 2014, the withdrawal of the international or the foreign forces troops and the security reasons, we have taken certain initiatives and incentives that we will provide to the investors those who are willing to invest in Afghanistan, particularly, or the priority will be given to those, firstly, that who are willing to invest over $1 million in Afghanistan. We will give them land free of cost with better infrastructure, and along with that, we will give them incentives in such as less electricity payments and better infrastructures, as well as tariffs, that we will increase the tariffs on foreign imports that are coming to Afghanistan, which we can say is their competitors. For example, if they are creating certain products or materials, and we are importing them from foreign countries, we will put a higher tariffs on them, so that the national or the internationals that are investing in Afghanistan, in creating products in Afghanistan, will have better access to Afghan market, and as well as along with that, we will decrease taxes on them. So I believe with these kind of incentives that we are giving to the investors, we hope and we would like to catch as much as investments in Afghanistan, with better investors coming along to get the shares of Afghan market, and to have better shares of the untapped natural resources of Afghanistan. So I hope that will be the answer for his question.
Okay, very good answer. Thank you, Mr. Presa.
Thank you.
Good presentation. So based on the order of you mentioning you're ready to present, I'll give the next one to Mr. Mahfouz Aryan, and you. Okay, you'll be the next presenter.
Hello, is my voice clear?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay, by the name of Allah. by permission of my honorable teacher and good classmate, I've prepared a PowerPoint presentation on business administration, office negotiation, on a subject of business strategy. As you all know, this is Mahfouz Aryan, working as a provincial capacity development specialist in UNDP, Bas Mazar Sharif, Afghanistan. I want to share my own experience on office negotiation, business administration, as we all face every day with our routine tasks. It is all about our normal activities, internal organization activities. So the UNDP has recruited me as a specialist for local directories to bring change in administration, to support local government directories to strengthen their relation with the people, NGOs, societies, and other directories, to provide technical support for them to standardize and establish good governance for local directories. And in this case, we are here to support government in mentioned areas. And I'm doing some main responsibilities to conduct workshops, seminars, coaching, monitoring on the job training, to develop strategies, manual policies, database in a field of capacity building and capacity development. And so one day I've got a plan to conduct a tour assessment. Tour is a full form of term of reference for the provincial and district directorates at the provincial level. At that time, I was demanding to conduct a meeting because of to present my documents, my questionnaires, and all papers for that meeting. I was demanding to attend the partners should be high-profile government officials and needed members. And at that time, I present my documents and my questionnaires. They have approved me. They gave me the permit to implement, to launch, conduct my program. And after all, I've launched my program, I've launched my survey, distributed my questionnaires according to the tour of every Tashkil staff at the provincial district level. When the climax of this presentation is when I reach to the record section. The head of record section have asked me so many things, so many questions, because he said this is the duty of mine to implement, to launch this kind of survey, this kind of assessment. It is not your task to implement this kind of program. So he was a pride man. He was full option man. He was making discrimination between me and the Tashkil staff. He said there is no need of this kind of assessment. Please change your patrol and go to the other offices for assessment. My employees are wishes are fulfilled. Everything is altered here. So I have elaborated all the concept, why I'm establishing this program. I said I'm going to identify the gaps and needs of the Tashkil staff. I'm here to identify the weaknesses and the strengths of the Tashkil. I'm here to take the request of the Tashkil staff according to the their needs in program, in coaching, and on the job training. That's why. And also, you got a manager, general manager. You have to obey his rules. You have to obey his policy and other paper which he is going to approve, because he approved the documents. He gave me this permit to implement this kind of program. That's why I'm here. When he hears this kind of negotiations, he have accept my my elaboration, because I said this kind of things based on team assessment. Before we got an assessment, everything was based according to assessment. And I have complete my survey. I've complete all the documents. I have collect all the data, and I entered all the data in database. I have developed a database there. And again, I held a meeting. I presented documents for a meeting. They have approved me. They have acknowledged me, and now it is they are using this database. Because the database identified everything, and they are implementing the workshop seminar according to this survey. So this was my business administration experience, which I have shared with you guys. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you. Any question? I'm in your service.
Are there any questions? Okay, so thank you so much, Mr. Ariad. So let's go to the next presenter. Mr. Walizadeh was saying that he's also ready. Okay, let me give you. Mr. Walizadeh, go ahead. I cannot hear you yet, Mr. Walizadeh. Yes, and right after Mr. Walizadeh would be Mrs. Nadia. And then Mr. Harun Saha. Mr. Walizadeh, I can't hear you yet. You gotta go to, yeah, if you press on your PowerPoint slides, you maximize that. Yeah, press on it. Okay, now we can see it. So, but I still can't hear you. So maybe you want to activate your microphone first, because I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you, Mr. Walizadeh. Can you hear me?
Hello? Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Nadia. My name is Nadia and I'm working with one of these ID projects as a capacity building specialist. The topic which I have chosen for today's presentation is the project management process. But before going to project management process, I just want to briefly tell something about the definition of project management, which is an ongoing process of formulating, implementing, and controlling broad plans and that guide the organization in achieving the strategic goals given while the organization does them internal and external analysis. Okay, project management process. We have three stages while we are going to process or formulate our organization strategy, which is strategy formulation, strategy implementation, and strategy evaluation. Okay, the points that we have to consider while we are formulating our strategy is the setting of vision and mission of the organization, which everyone already knows about the vision statement and mission statement, which shows or which answers the question where we want to be and the reason for existence of the organization. Then we do SWOT analysis, where we try the opportunities, threats, strengths, and weaknesses. Which the opportunities and threats relate to external environment, and strengths and weakness always shows the internal environment of our organization. Then we have to set long-term objectives, and we have our alternative strategy. After that, we select our best strategy for the organization. The next the points or issues which should be considered while we are going to formulate our strategy is what new business to enter, what business we have to avoid or not enter, how to allocate resources, internal entry to international market, merge or form joint venture in order to formulate our strategy. Okay, in strategy implementation, while we are in the next stage of our process, we have to have our annual objectives, the policies and procedures which guide us to implement our strategies or objectives, motivate employees, the internal employees who are involved in implementation of the objective or the strategies. They should be motivated in order to create willingness. Resources allocation. It's so important to resource right to allocate the right resource for the right activities. The third stage of strategic management process, or the most difficult stage, is strategy implementation. In this stage, we have to be much careful. Okay, in this stage, as I said before, it's the most difficult stage, but we have to mobilize employee and manager. Sometimes on pursuing goals and objectives of the organization. The third stage of formulating or process of the strategic management is strategy evaluation, which is the end stage or the last stage of the process. We have to review the standards in order to see whether our standards are as per the international standards. The performance should be measured in order to meet the standards. Corrective action, if any correction or corrective action is required or needed, we have to take. Okay, the strategic management process is summarized in this chart. The first step or the first stage is vision and mission statement. Then we have external and internal environment analysis. Then we set our long-term and short-term objectives, strategy formulation. Then we have strategy implementation. If we have in strategy implementation, we have our purpose strategy, function strategy, competitive strategy. At the end, we have a strategy evaluation, which we have to evaluate our strategy in order to see whether it's based on the standards we have set at the beginning or not. Okay, here we have 5 tasks of strategic management, which we have to complete these tasks while we are going to formulate our strategy. Develop a strategy, vision and mission. Revise as needed. If any revision or modification is needed, we can do revise our vision and mission statement. Then we set our objectives. We can revise our objectives too if required based on the situation. Draft strategy to achieve the objective. Now this is the stage we also can have our improvement or change or modification if required. Implementation and execution of the strategy. Improvement, change if required or needed. We can do that. We can evaluate and task corrective action. We can do recycling here. We monitor and evaluate our tasks and take any corrective action if required or needed based on the situation. Thank you, everyone. That was it. That was the presentation regarding strategic management process. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Nadia. Very nice presentation. So we'll leave the questions for the end of the class because we don't have much time. Thank you, Ms. Nadia. So let's go back to Mr. Walizadeh. He seems to be ready for presenting. Mr. Walizadeh, go ahead and start your presentation. You can upload your slides, and then first of all, also I activated your microphone. Can you speak now? I still can't hear you. Mr. Walizadeh? Mr. Walizadeh, can you hear us? There's still no voice, Mr. Walizadeh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
No.
Yeah, I can hear you, Mr. Walizadeh. Mr. Walizadeh, I just heard you, and then your voice is gone again. Okay, you seem to be experiencing the technical problems still. So let's go to the next presenter. We'll come back to you again after you fix that. So, okay, let's go to Mr. Who was the next person who said? It's not here. Okay, Mr. Shakur had asked before, so let's see if he is ready. Mr. Shakur, are you ready? Okay, go ahead. Please try to keep that 5-minute presentation because we have others students to present as well. So please make sure you don't exceed your time. So Shakur, can you activate your microphone? Okay. I still can't hear you though. Shakur? Yes, I can hear you now.
Good evening, everybody. This is Najibullah Shakur, by permission of our lecturer and their classmates. My presentation is about business external environment and macro analysis in a business strategy. Okay, as we have studied in the class, when we are devising and developing a strategy for a company, we need to take into account the external and internal environment analysis, which come together in the SWOT analysis, which strengths and weaknesses are part of the internal environment and threats and opportunities are the external environment analysis. We may use different models and tools, and I'm just presenting you about the PESTEL analysis model, which is stand for political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and legal analysis. And it is part of the external analysis when we're conducting a strategic analysis or doing market research, which gives us a certain overview of different macro-environmental factors that the company has to take into consideration while developing a strategy. The first factor is political factor. Can you hear me, everybody?
I can hear you loud and clear. Please go ahead.
The first factor, or we can say the political factors, are those, or how and what degree a government intervenes in the economy. Specifically, the political factors includes areas such as tax policy, labor law, environmental law, trade restrictions, tariffs, and political stability. Political factors may also include goods and services which the government wants to provide or be provided, and those that the government does not want to be provided. Furthermore, governments, as we can say, governments have great influence on the health, education, infrastructure, and other areas of a nation. The second factors, or the second part of the PESTEL method or tool, is economic factors, which includes economic growth, interest rates, exchange rates, and the inflation rates. These factors have major impacts on how businesses operate and make decisions. For example, interest rates affect a firm's cost of capital and therefore to what extent a business grows and expands. So exchange rates affect the cost of exporting goods and the supply and price of imported goods in an economy. The other part of this tool is social factors, which include the cultural aspects and include health consciousness, population growth rate, age distribution, career attitudes, and emphasis on safety. Trends and social factors affect the demand for a company's product and how the company operates. For example, an aging population may imply a smaller and less willing workforce, thus increasing the cost of labor. Furthermore, companies may change various management strategies to adopt these social trends, such as recruiting older workers. And the technological factors also have their effect on the strategy of the companies, which include ecological and environmental aspects such as research and development activity, automation, technological incentives, and the rate of technological change. They can determine barriers to entry, minimum efficient production level, and influence outsourcing decisions. Furthermore, technological shifts can affect cost, quality, and lead to innovation. The environmental factors also have their effects on the company strategies, which include weather, climate, and climate change, which may especially affect industries such as tourism, farming, and insurance. Furthermore, a growing awareness to climate change is affecting how companies operate and the products they offer. It is both creating new markets and diminishing or destroying existing ones. The legal factors also affect on the business, on the businesses, and also on the business development strategies. The legal factors include discrimination law, consumer law, antitrust law, employment law, and health and safety law. These factors can affect how a company operates, its costs, and the demand for its product. So this was the end of my presentation. And thank you, everybody and the lecturer from your time. If there's any question, I'm at your service. If there's any question, I'm just leaving the floor for other colleagues. Thank you very much once again from your time. Thank you.
Mr. Harun, are you ready?
Do you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Can I start?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to also present my presentation. Today I will just speak on the vision and mission, and following that I will explain a bit on the objectives that will be following the mission. My purpose for today's presentation is just to express myself, actually my understanding on the vision and mission, statement of a business, and also setting the objectives. I would appreciate the nice comments and feedback of all the classmates, also yourself, to correct me where I'm mistaken or I'm not right. There's a simple case that I myself developed this case on a local community enterprise where upon which we could set a vision for that enterprise, and we could set mission statement. Also, we could set up objectives or targets for that enterprise. So the case is in a local community where the women who are supporting their families are facing with economic support or economic challenges. So in a consultation with the local community representatives, also on conducting on an assessment of the community, having spoken with the women themselves, I created a vision for my enterprise. If I'm going to open an enterprise, how I could support these women supporting their families. These women are currently in business already, but they don't know how to promote and grow their business, how to have good access to the market, and how to sell their products, and how to have further economic opportunities. Vision for this enterprise is that to develop the self-determination of a large group of marginalized women who are already engaged in agricultural production in rural communities by the way of feasible enterprise that they contribute to the higher standards of living for themselves and their families. That is the vision. End of the day of the business, these marginalized group of women could have been enjoying of a standard of living for themselves and for their families. How? The mission statement will explain more on that. The mission statement will explain on the target, on the activities, what activities would be done, and how these activities would be conducted in order to reach the vision. To increase economic opportunities and income of poor self-employed women is the purpose. Of this business. In agriculture machinery in rural areas, how? Through the creation of a financially feasible social enterprise that provides them with commercialization services and market linkages so they can supply high quality products to their customers. Here this mission statement expresses on the target group, on the current situation, why, what are the challenges, and what activities, it means the purpose, and how. How is setting the strategy direction for this enterprise and for this business. Following this, we need to set our objectives, how we could finally achieve the mission statement. By that, we could achieve our vision, whether we have reached the vision or not. The objectives are the enterprise would start or would begin with 120 women, which is the number of the target. And the enterprise is designed for 7 years. It means end of the 7 years, we could measure our vision, which is whether it is achieved or not. So in each year, the total of 20% of 120 women in each year that increase. So it means next year there will be 144. So that way for 7 years, that would increase. To continue the increase with the same percentage for 7 years. So what are other objectives for this? Promote local growth, local food or agriculture production. So currently the agriculture products are being produced, but is of local shape and standard, is not promoted. To increase the level of income of the poor woman, how? Once the local food production is promoted, it affects the increase. So that will increase the level of the income of the poor woman more than their current occupations. Another objective for this enterprise is to make the income sustainable for raising standard living. So the business or the enterprise is designed on a sustainable way that by end of the enterprise, sustainability of the enterprise should be guaranteed. By end of the year 7 or by end of 7 years, there will be created some 358 new jobs opportunities. So by increasing 20% in each year, by end of 7 years, there will be 358 new job opportunities for these women. It means that would cover 358 families being supported by women. The social impact of the enterprise would decrease rural out immigration by 50%. So this is a kind of concept which is mixed of both social and financial enterprise. Initially seems to be a social enterprise. By end of the 7 years, by ensuring sustainability of the enterprise, is going to be switched into a financial or a business enterprise. Thank you very much. If there is any question, I would be much happier to receive it if I could answer.
Okay, thank you so much. Again, let's leave the questions for the end of the class since you're like running short with regards to time. Thank you. And so let's go to Mr. Walizadeh one more time, see if he's ready now. Mr. Walizadeh, are you ready? Mr. Walizadeh? Mr. Walizadeh, can you hear me? Mr. Walizadeh? Okay, so now let's go to Mr. Qayyumi, since you're not ready. And then after Mr. Qayyumi, we'll go to Ms. Lida Akbari. Okay. Mr. Qayyumi. For some reason I can't give it to you. Seems like you're connected to your cell phone, so I won't be able to connect you. Okay, so Ms. Lida Akbari then. There you go. Go ahead, Ms. Akbari.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, sir. Here I'm going to share my file.
Okay, yes. And also for everyone, there's no next week presentation. This is the last session and last session for presentation. So there would not be any next week presentation. So those of you who want to present, this is your time. Okay, go ahead.
Good evening, everybody. I hope you will all hear me loud and clearly. Hello? Okay.
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. My topic is presentation on the business strategy, and my topic is about. Sir, my slides are not moving. Yeah, strategy management process.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. It is the strategy management process. Today is my topic. I want to define strategy management process very precise and very clear, short. I have a very short presentation. First of all, I want to define what is the strategy management process. So, strategy management process is the process of the organization strategy. It tells us about the organization strategy. Is also defined as the process by which managers make decisions. Like it's a make decision or sets of strategies that enables the managers to choose a better decision to achieve a better performance in their organization. And also strategy management tells us like it is a continuous appraisal of the business and industries in which the organization involves, appraises its competitors, and fixes goals to meet all the present and the future competitors, and then resizes each strategy. Like it evaluates each competitor's fixed goals to meet their future and their present competitors. And also at the end of the strategy, they reassess each strategy, what they make it's re-evaluate what they make and what they want to achieve and what they fix their goals and what will their competitors in the future. The next slide is we have strategy planning process steps. Here you can see we have some steps through which we can go and we can get the basic strategy management process. So we have 5 steps: measure and objectives, environmental scanning, strategy formulation, strategy implementation, and evaluation and control. You see, At the end of the steps, we again evaluate our strategy, and we control and we can bring the changes in our strategy. We can make it better if it needs any betterment or any improvement. So here we go through the first step, which is mission and objective. Mission is a very broad statement, but a very simple statement which expresses the business vision. It defines the vision of our business, and also the objectives. It involves measures and also sales and targets, earning growth, strategic objectives, or related to the firm's business position, and may include measures such as market shares and reputation. Of course, the objectives defined by itself, the word of objective defines itself, that it defines the strategic objectives, it defines the business position, and also it includes the measurements of the market and the reputation of the shares. The next step is environmental scan. Environmental scans include three major points. One is internal analysis of the firm's industry, and external macro environment. The internal analysis identifies the strengths of their weaknesses, or shortly we can say it as a SWOT analysis. Like here you can see this, and the internal analysis identifies the firm's strengths and the weaknesses. And the external analysis is a SWOT analysis. The internal just identifies the strengths and the weaknesses. The external analysis reveals opportunities and threats. A profile of the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats is generated by the means of the SWOT analysis. An industry analysis can be performed using a framework developed by the Michael Porter, known as the Porter 5 Factors. It is a very famous person which defined the framework. It is a framework which was using inside of this strategy, and it is also known as the Porter 5 Factors. The framework evaluates entry barriers, suppliers, customers, substitute products, and industry rivalry. The next step is the strategy formulation. This formulation, like the environmental scan, the firm should match its strengths to the opportunities that it has defined, while addressing its weaknesses and external threats. Like a company should scan its environment, should know about its environment, and then match its strengths to the opportunities, and also identify its weaknesses and external traits, that is weaknesses and the external traits. The second point is to attain superior profitability. The firm seeks to develop competitive advantages over its rivals. Competitive advantages, for example, we can gain a very simple example. For example, we compare two countries which produce cotton. For example, we can say Pakistan has a good competitive advantage over the India. It is something like we can understand it better, because Pakistan can produce better stuff than India. So the Pakistan is the competitive advantages as compared to India. A competitive advantage can be based on cost of differentiation. Michael Porter identified three industry independent generic strategies from which the firm can choose. The another step is strategy implementation, how we implement our strategy. The selected strategy is implemented by means of programs, budgets, and procedures. And implementation involves organization of the firm's resources, motivation of the staff to achieve objectives. Of course, motivation is a very basic point for a staff to achieve their objectives. Because by motivation, we can motivate our staff. They can work better, and they can achieve their objectives better than other. They can achieve their objectives better than those who are not motivating. The second point is the way in which the strategy is implemented can have a significant impact on whether it will be successful. In a large company, those who implement the strategy likely will be different people from those who formulated it. For this reason, care must be taken to communicate the strategy and the reasoning behind it. Otherwise, the implementation might not succeed and the strategy is misunderstood, or if a lower level manager resets its implementation because they do not understand why the particular strategy was selected. Of course, communication is the basic point here. If, for example, we have two kinds of managers in a company, for example. One is very social, one is a very communicative person. One have very communicative person over his staff. He doesn't just order what he wants to take from his staff. He for the first time he clear their staff what he needs and what they want from them. It is the basic point, rather than a person who just order that I just want to need at the end of this month, and you should provide me this outcome from this strategy. So communication is the best point here. We should communicate with our staff to get or to achieve our best results. And the last point is the evaluation and control. The implementation of the strategy must be monitored and adjustment made as needed. Evaluation and control consists of the following steps: define parameters to be measured, define target values for those parameters, perform measurements, compare measures results to be predefined standard, make necessary changes. So if you want to make, or if there is something we want to need changes, so we will do changes. Otherwise, we see our strategy. If it needs any changes, so we do, or if not, we go with the same strategy and we will achieve our objectives. Thank you. It is hello. Hello.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you. Is that the end of your presentation?
Thank you, sir.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Let's go to Mr. Valizadeh one more time, see if he's ready. Okay, Mr. Valizadeh, let's try one more time. Okay. I still can't hear you though, Mr. Valizadeh. Can you hear me, Mr. Valizadeh? Mr. Valizadeh? Can you hear me? I still can't hear you. I heard you for a second. Can you hear me now? Mr. Valizadeh? But I cannot hear you. I heard you for a second, but now again you're gone.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Good.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Good evening to knowledgeable lecturer and my active classmates. Sorry for technical problem that I faced with my laptop, and now I found a chance to present a very brief and concise presentation on SWOT analysis. Almost this is 20 years of experience. My experience with international community in Afghanistan with INUs. Now this is my 2 months that I'm jobless, but I'm busy and I'm working as a consultant for a private company which is called Abatin Group company. Yeah. Abbasin Group is a company established in March 2003. The main functions of this company is imports construction materials from neighboring countries, provide consultancy on economic and construction activities, provide construction services. As it's clear to everyone, SWOT analysis is comprised of factors internal to organization and external to organizations. The strengths which contributes to my company is we have strong management system, there's clear business plan, and professional staff. Potential customer in all Afghanistan offers low-cost materials like construction materials and other needs, financial and accounting database software, and we have 80% of the market is under control of me of ASEAN imported materials. And also, we have availability of 4 zonal warehouse in Kabul, Mazar Sharif, Kandahar, Jalalabad, and Herat provinces. All these strengths contribute to the strengths of the company, and also continuous market analysis. At each month and each quarter, we have a marketer and for the purpose of analysis of rates and competitions and other factors. So, can you hear me? Weaknesses. There are less number of professional staff at provincial levels, lack of data entry system and databases at provincial level. These are the weaknesses that we are intent to recover it, to make a plan to come over these weaknesses. And also weak access to the remote provinces where there is no access to the facilities to equipment and tools. External factors, opportunities. We have close partnership with national and international companies and maintain good relationship with local government authorities at central and provincial levels. And also upgrading our financial and accounting databases. It was a good opportunity to us to do that. And there was effective communication and coordination mechanism established as well. And there was effective business system applied. We applied in our system. Threats. The main threats is insecurity in Afghanistan and delaying materials in Pakistan borders, creation of constraints from Pakistan, violations from international threats, norms, standards, rules, and regulations. There is no positive competition among companies. Less support from government, receiving bribes from police during transportation of goods. Thank you very much for your patience, and I'm done. If there's any question, I'm at your service.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Walizadeh. So now let's go to Mr. Qayumi and see if he is ready. Okay, ready, Mr. Qayumi?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead, please. You can go on the quick start on the arrow beside share file. You can either share your desktop or upload your file and present. So go ahead. Did you find it? Did you find it, Mr. Ayumi?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. And please keep it in a 5-minute time limit because there are other friends that want to present. I can't see your slides yet, Mr. Ayumi.
It's uploading, sir.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Faisal, I thought you presented. You want to present again? Oh, this is another Faisal. Oh, I see. Okay. So what is your name and what is his name? Oh, you're Omidullah Faisal. He was just Faisal. Okay, Mr. Ayumi, we are still waiting for you.
Okay.
Hello? Yeah, I can see your slides.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, and also I can see your slides, so please go ahead. Mr. Ayumi? Your voice is gone.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello?
Go ahead, I can hear you. Go ahead, present, please.
I'm Ahmed for United Nations. Hello?
I can hear
Hello?
you.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Please go ahead and present.
Okay, okay, sir. Good evening, everybody. Okay. Good evening, everybody. My name is Ahmed Jawed Qayyumi. I work for the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees as Associate Professor. Presentation. The topic is outsourcing. It is purely related to the organization I work for, and the outsourcing in the context of the UNHCR as a global humanitarian organization of humble origins. As many of you are aware that the UNHCR, with a mandate to lead and coordinate international action for the worldwide protection of refugees and the resolution of refugee problems established in the 1950s by the United Nations, when the need for UNHCR was felt. The United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees mission is to ensure the right to seek asylum and find safe refuge for refugees and to protect refugees and promote solutions. It moves very strongly with the goal to safeguard the rights and well-being of refugees, help them find durable solutions which will allow them rebuild their lives and dignity and peace. Now, a bit of a definition of outsourcing and how it is used by the High Commissioner for Refugees. Outsourcing is a practice undertaken by organizations for the sake of reducing costs, risks, and etc. Transfer portions of work to outside organizations legally have the right to undertake implementation of certain projects. The organizations have the right to be a non-governmental organization or NGOs. It's also sometimes an effective and cost-saving strategy when used properly, and can be the vice versa or the upside down when not properly used. Given that UNHCR operates throughout the country and assists peoples of its concern, like refugees, returnees, internally displaced people, and etc., in all provinces of Afghanistan with restricted security policies and procedures, and access to remote and non-secure areas of the country is a problem and hard for the organization to reach its people of concern. That is why UNHCR outsources its projects, like provision of protection and legal services for the persons of concern, distribution of non-food items, winter kits, and management of encashment centers for Afghan refugee returnees. The refugees return from countries of asylum like Iran and Pakistan and other countries where the Afghans are doing voluntary repatriation. They benefit the cash grants being provided by the UNHCR in the 5 encashment centers throughout the country. How projects are outsourced and implemented and monitored by the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. And the organization has its global and local partners. Some are pre-qualified and some are selected on basis of projects available to be implemented by the partners who have core competencies, resources, and presence in the field ground. The project description gives the broader explanation of the project being implemented, the duration, the methods of implementation, and the key deliverables. The budget consists of the overall budget for the implementation period, including operational costs, salaries, and so on. And the work plan is made available in consultation and agreement with the implementing partner to outline implementation methodologies, monitoring and evaluation, and the reporting periods of the implementation of the project. Reasons for outsourcing the project. As it is obvious for all, and during our classes in the past weeks, we have learned that there are reasons for the organizations to outsource projects or activities to second or third party. UNHCR outsourcing projects is to avoid certain costs incurred under the organization's requirements on security, resources, etc., etc. On the security, it bears a huge amount of expenditure for the United Nations. So, insecure or to secure the compound where the UN staff are based and work from, their accommodation, and etc., etc. Like for transportations, they need armored vehicles, guards, unarmed and armed guards. And for resources, there need to be United Nations contracted staff covered under insurance, life insurance, medical insurance, and stuff that costs too heavily for the United Nations. And the second point, the reason for UNHCR to outsource the project is to reduce security challenges and issues. As we all know, in Afghanistan, it is assumed that the United Nations is somehow or somewhat being targeted or under the threat of the insurgents. To reduce the security challenges, they have preferred to outsource the project. The third point is to assure the project is implemented by capable staff based on the field. The people from the field in the remote areas with expertise and knowledge of the local area, and to assure that local community benefit opportunities on the ground. Job opportunities are made available for them. The right beneficiaries receive the assistance, etc., etc. There are advantages and disadvantages for outsourcing, specifically on UNHCR projects. The project is implemented by organizations. UNHCR has full oversee rule and assure that the project implementations are in line with the mandate of the organization. The assistance reach the right beneficiaries, and so on. There are flexibilities available by the implementing partners. And as I earlier said, that the IPs or the implementing partners are hiring people from the community, and those people have the idea and the capability to identify the needs of the community and provide the right assistance to them. And it is somehow a capacity opportunity provided to NGOs. The NGOs have the opportunity to build the capacity of the organization and their staff through a lot opportunities available for them, and job opportunities created for local community. Since the organization may have or may not have a staff in the field, they have to hire people from the local community to implement the project. And as I said, there are disadvantages for outsourcing the project, but UNHCR is trying to mitigate these risks and go ahead with outsourcing the project. There are risks of exposing confidential data, assuring the beneficiaries receive the assistance, and reports provided are accurate, since it does not have full access and availability in the field. Whatever the implementing partner reports on distribution of assistance, the beneficiaries, the service can be right, wrong, or in between. I think that's it. Thanks for attention and the time. I hope I made my statement clear. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Ayumi, for the presentation. Okay. Please make it short, like 5 minutes presentation, as it's supposed to. We are running short in time, and so Okay, Mr. Paldiar, go ahead. Okay, are you ready, Mr. Paldiar? Paldiar, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm here.
Go ahead. And then share file is press the arrow. Then you can either from your
لا يحكي في مخالف.
And for Mr. Sahibzadeh, it's not for you to decide whether it's enough or not. If you want to leave the class, the presentations is still going on, so it's not for you to tell us whether it's enough or not. Is that clear? Okay. If you're not ready, let's go to Mr. Faisal, and then we'll come back to you. Okay, we'll come back to you, Mr. And one more time, the lecture, as long as the lecture is going on, the class is going on. So I don't understand how, you were saying it's enough. It's not for you to say whether it's enough or not. Is that clear, Mr. Mohammed Sahibzadeh? You have not prepared your presentation. You're asking about details of presentation at the last session. It's not acceptable. And it's not for you to say whether the class should end or not. Okay. For Mr. Faisal, please go ahead. I can hear you, Mr.
Hello?
Faisal. Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Hello?
I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Hello, do you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Hello?
Okay, since you're not
Hello?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Please go ahead. Upload your slides and
بسم الله
we can take it.
الرحمن الرحيم. Nice to meet you, dear class. And thanks for all the patience. Make my other points which a strategic plan for a business
Yes.
company or an so
Your slides is not showing yet.
sorry, pointing out to the factors which in a make strategic plan. Also know about I should or the viewers notice in where
Your sound is breaking up. I can't hear you completely.
they work
want to make a step for the open or yeah, yeah. Is it
You were breaking up, so
clear?
I can hear you now. Yes, go ahead.
Hello?
I can hear you now, Mr. Faisal.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, you're clear now. Go ahead.
Is it okay? Hello? Is
I
it
can
okay?
hear you. Go ahead, please.
Hello?
I can hear you now, Mr. Faisal. Go ahead, please. Okay.
Is it okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, presented. So I have prepared this presentation just we consider which we like this when you are organization. Continue. Just I wanted to I said in my previous slide presentation I pointed out the points in should be noticed while we make a strategic plan. So first of all, uh, uh, we want to like in a strategic plan we should select our vision and mission. That's our vision on to reach the point our way and our mission is in our strategic plan that who are we and we have noticed our and so while we think about some details or what objectives do for our future our strategy what's for ourselves and also we have our future objective have for our like company or our organization. The main D or what is our mission for our company or the organization. After that, what things should be considered while we select strategies. Here I have just divided these objectives in goals to 3 points I have from the like illustration a point up to the goals objects that we select for our or that we put for our in productions does our company so we can or what should our company provide. When we selected these products, then and find out about the review this product or we produce this which we provide. Then, like this, we
Mr. Faisal.
find out about the services, the means that we provide, by which we provide the service in the product to people. We like is how to distribute the product that we see, the service that we will provide it to the
Okay, you're cutting out, Mr. Faisal.
people out to the. So these books, let's say, 3 main points. In analysis, all the companies in all the compete our analysis are in like that are there in we can is in this company done about its environment. We point out or we the all and about their aim. So all these things we know about the
We can't hear you loud.
external
So I think
of customer. And also we should notice all about this in
Mr. Faisal, you can
on
stop.
codes are recognized on
You can stop here, Mr. Faisal.
like
Your voice is not very clear.
between the international community or between about
Mr. Faisal,
all these we can say codes and about
your voice is not clear, so I ask you to
rules of into the or camps. Just I move
you can stop here.
quickly levels of CD kind of level.
Okay, let's go to the next presenter. It would be Mr. Bakhtash. Thank you, Mr. Faisal. I had to cut you off because we were not able to hear you. So Oh, yes, Mr. Khalaviar is before you. Let's go to Mr. Khalaviar. Just please make sure do not exceed 5 minutes, and then also keep it short and concise. Mr. Khalaviar, looking for your name. Okay, found you. Okay, Mr. Khalaviar, go ahead. Mr. Khalaviar.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, sir. I forgot the steps of presenting. How should I show my slides?
Yes, go to quick start on the tab at the above. Then when you go there, you'll see share file. There's an arrow by share file. You press on it, and then you either share your desktop or you browse the file. You got it. Okay, yes.
Yes, sir. I share, and
You're going to see your desktop now. It's not showing yet, but it looks like you're sharing your desktop. I can't see anything yet. Okay, now I see your desktop. So if you open your PowerPoint presentation,
can you see the slides, sir?
so I don't see the slides.
Yeah, can you see my presentation?
I see your
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah.
desktop. So now open up your slides, and we will see it on your desktop.
Sir, now can you see my slides?
It's opening up. It's opening up. You're opening your homework assignment of subject of something, and then it's opening up.
Okay, sir, just a minute. I think what's the problem?
I see your slides now.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Can you see now, sir?
Yes, I can see.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. By permission, you, sir, and by permission, my student. Yes, sir.
Mr. Khalaviar, please make sure you don't exceed the 5 minutes. I'll make sure keeping the 5 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay, sir. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, sir. My name is Safiullah Khalikyar. I'm working with the Ministry of Agriculture with the HLP project. Okay, sir. I would like to start my presentation. My presentation is regarding to market dumping, with definition of market dumping, overview of market dumping, dumping actions, dumping action in United States, and dumping action in European Union. I would like to start. Definition of market dumping: exporting goods at price lower than the home market price, and price-to-price dumping. The exporting uses the exporting. Okay, can you hear me, sir? Sir, can you hear me? Yeah, my net is, I think.
Okay. Thank you. Were you disconnected? Okay, let's go to Mr. Warnock. Go ahead, Mr. Warnock. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Should I share my desktop?
Yes, you can share your desktop or upload the slides.
Okay, sir.
Do you know how to share your desktop, Mr. Warnock?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear, and I can see your slides. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you for giving me the time to present this presentation. Today my presentation is about BCG matrix. Okay. BCG matrix, which stands for Boston Consulting Group. This is a model which is used for portfolio planning. In this model, it classifies the business units or the products into 4 categories, which are stars, question marks, cash cows, and dogs. This model is created by Mr. Bruce Henderson, who was an employee of Boston Consulting Group in 1970. So I'm trying to keep it short. In this model, we have two things, which is growth and share. And one side you can see market growth rate, and the other side we can see relative market shares. So if market growth rate is higher and relative market share is higher, that product or that unit of business is called star. Let's see the next slide. Stars. This is the product or business unit with high market share in a fast-growing market. This product or this business unit also gives this profit and growth opportunities to the organization. Meanwhile, it earns higher revenues and huge cash. This product or business unit is able to sustain star position. And this product, or we can say business unit, is in the growth stage. Cash cows is one of the business product or business unit which generate unusually high profit margin with low growth rate and high market share. This also generates cash more than its requirement, which can be used by other units. That means in a surplus cash. And this unit or business unit is in a maturity stage. Question marks. These are products or business units with low market share and fast-growing industry. This unit or product requires large amount of cash to grow its market share, and it has potential to generate profits and achieve a dominant position in the market. This is also an introduction stage in a fast-growing market. Dogs is also a product or business unit that has little future opportunity and is big cash drainer on the company. This is generating cash just to break even. It is a self-sustaining unit. This unit, it means that it cannot help other units or products to grow. This unit or product does not generate profit for the overall business, or we can say this unit can be sold off. This product is in decline stage with no chance of revival. We have some advantages for this model to be used in a business. This model, we can say business can diversify to sustain profit. Using this model, we can see if a business unit is in drop, we can diversify or change or totally stop that product and go to the next stop. Company can allocate its scarce resources fairly. Products plus business units with higher profit and growth rates can be enhanced and or invested. Raising equity capital on need basis. That means whenever or which units or products need the capital, we can raise capital. Otherwise, we should not raise the capital. This model also helps in determining the competitive advantages of each SB or business unit, strategic business unit. There are also some disadvantages to this model. Other important dimensions such as product life cycle, presence of competitive advantages are ignored. In this model, we only consider two dimensions, which are the growth and which are the cash we are expecting from the product. Long-term profitability is influenced to a great extent by controlling cost and overheads. The next disadvantage is value of business is often linked to other factors like synergy, competitive advantages, and etc. Here in this model, we have 4 cells, which we could use instead 6 cells, and we could include higher, medium, and lower. But here in this model, we only have high and low, where we don't have the medium cell. So the conclusion of this presentation is that though BCG matrix has its limitation, it's one of the most famous and simple portfolio planning metrics used by large companies having multiple products. Okay. So these are the references used for this, and thank you for your attention. Please ask questions.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Wardak, for your presentation. That was very nice. So let's see, Mr. Bakhtash, you're ready. Okay, let's go to Mr. Bakhtash. Okay, can you hear me, Mr. Bakhtash?
Yes, I'm here, sir.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, thank you, sir, thank you, sir, for giving chance. Just I have 2 slides, and it may take a couple of minutes. It is about a kind of case of hostage situation. The last sessions we have. A negotiation strategy class assignment. Mr. Ahmad was going to conduct a mapping workshop for C municipality. Part of the condition, president of the program required meeting with head of construction office. Head of construction office was a proud man. During the meeting, he was showing as if his office does not need the training and the technical support. But the trainer, after the man stopped explaining capacities of his office, he started to raise the gaps that has already been identified by the need assessment team, and hence explained the necessity of the training. He as well as indirectly questioned the man on mandates of the construction office and related them to the workshop. The man seemed to be in a different situation. Suddenly, he changed his mind and got more cooperative, called all of his team to participate actively and report him at the end of the day. It was just a simple presentation on a kind of hostage situation, and if you have any question, I'm at your service. Hello?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Baktash. Is there anybody else left for presentation? Oh, Mr. Jahadullah. Okay, let me give you the. Okay, please go ahead. Please go ahead, Mr. Jahadullah. I cannot hear you, Mr. Jahadullah, yet. Mr. Jahadullah, I cannot hear you. I can see your slides, but I don't hear you, Mr. Jahadullah. No, unfortunately, I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you, Mr. Jahadullah. Okay, in the meantime, is there anybody else left to present? Is there anybody else who wants to present while Mr. Jahadullah is figuring out what's the problem with his microphone? Is there anybody else left? So, in the meantime, let me clear one more time. This is the last session. This is the last chance for those who want to present. When the class ends, there's no presentation accepted at all. So those of you who did not present will lose the score designated for presentation. So that's very clear. No late submission is accepted, as it has been already emailed to you and you have been informed. April 30th is the last time you can send in your final submissions, your projects. So if for any reason you don't submit by April 30th, April 31st you submit, you will get 0 as your score. I will not accept any late submission. Let me put that clear one more time. No late submission. So for those of you who do not submit, you will lose the score, like a 0, and you have to take the course again. So make sure you submit your final projects by April 30th. No late submission is accepted. And thank you for those of you who have presented today and the session before. The topic, as we discussed, is an executive essay you write about how you use business strategy in your career. So it has to be 8 to 10 pages, and then you can, present as well. No, it's just Word. It's like essay, so no PowerPoint. There's no presentation for it. It's just the written essay in Microsoft Word, and no PowerPoint is needed for that. We cannot extend. No, there's no extension, unfortunately. From the next semesters, I'm going to have exams, so you will get a similar question, and you have to do it in 2-3 hours. So you have a couple of weeks, which is already more than enough. So I don't think any exception would be needed. No, this is our last session. This is our last class. There's no other class after this. And Mr. Jalullah, did you manage to fix it? There's no exam. There's no exam, Mr. Warner. The exam is your final project. So you have your personal or individual presentation. You will have your final project. You have your task that you were sending to me. So that's it. That's your score. From next semester, I will definitely have exam in my classes because I had a terrible experience with the projects for past courses, like terrible late submissions. I can't take it anymore. So next semester on my classes we'll have exams for sure. But on this last course that I'm giving projects, April 30th would be 2 out of 4 is your passing score. No, there is no extra session. I have been telling that very loud, very clear, so no exception. I'm sorry, no. The answer is no. Okay, Mr. Jawdullah, I didn't. Are you able to upload and also present? Are you ready? I still can't hear you. Okay, seems like you can't make it. Fine. The previous semester's result has been already released, but there were people submitting their papers 2 months, 3 months, 1 semester, 2 semesters after the submission was due. So that has not been a very pleasant experience, and we have had a meeting with the admin, and for sure it will not happen again. That's why there's no late submission accepted at all. For sure, I'll send all the slides to all of you one more time from session 1 all the way to the end, because some of you have received, some of you don't have some of them apparently. So I'm going to email that all to you, like all the slides in one email, you'll receive that. it's 2 out of 4, which means 50%. As long as you get 50%, you'll pass. If you get below 50%, you'll fail. Yes, that's the problem. When you accept late submission, then it will delay the whole process. It's not fair to those who submit on time. So that's why it's not fair to accept late submission, not to those of you who submit on time. So for your own benefit, you're not going to accept any late submissions from now on. So is there anybody else who wants to present? Is there anybody else who wants to present? Okay. So it seems like it's the end of our session. Mr. Jawahardullah, I still can't hear you. Can you fix your microphone, because I cannot hear you? Yes, Mr. Walizada, I did receive your email. Thank you so much for sending it. Yes, for some reason I cannot hear you, Mr. Jawahardullah. It's fine because you tried. So basically, you can just send me your slide. It's fine. I'll accept yours. So that's the end of it. For next semester, those of you, I mean, I received a question. Will I be with you next semester? It depends on the courses and what course you take. Then also, the class is done. Those of you who have presented already, you can leave the class. And basically,
Thank you so much, everyone. You have a wonderful evening, and good luck with your final projects. And so by this, we'll end the session. Okay, and Mr. Jadallah, just because you tried your presentation, it was a technical problem, I'll accept your slides, just email it to me. And if you have already emailed, you're fine. So those of you who did not present, you'll lose the score for this presentation. Okay, thank you so much, and you have a wonderful evening. And thanks for those of you who really cooperated, participated in the class, and made a great class. So yeah, if you have already sent, you're great. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening, and all the best with your finals, and hopefully see you next semester.